Hey everyone, it's Dan Sfera back from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, that website address, if you don't already know, is www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. You see it right here. Quick video. I did one earlier, almost a year ago. And this is very good for you research clinics out there, especially you newer ones just getting started. Maybe the single investigator sites or just small companies out there. The topic is on study brokers and the benefits of using them. Now, in all my years at South Coast Clinical Trials, I've owned the company for about 5 years. I've worked there for about 7. I've only used a broker once, and I regret it. So my last video, I didn't really know all the information I do now, so I just wanted to give you an update. For those that don't know, what a study broker does is they'll get you a study, and in exchange they want a fee. And the fees can be worked out different ways, either up front or on the back end. And before you think, well, why would anyone ever use a study broker? Can't you get studies on your own? The answer is yes, but several years ago, this is 2012, so 2009, the industry was not doing so well. The clinical trials industry was not doing that great. And so a lot of research clinics, a lot of companies were doing whatever they could to get studies. I was no different. I turned to a study broker when my pipeline got a little low, a little lower than comfortable. And I got one study from them. And well, actually I got a few, but thankfully I only enrolled in one. And everything was fine until this year when it's time to pay. And if you read the fine print of these contracts, which nobody really does, but I understood that I would pay them 10% based on what we've received, what we've earned for that study. Well, if you read the small print, and this is, I'm not going to name names, this is a reputable broker. I've talked to many research clinics, owners of research companies, people that I know and respect and talk to. They all know who this broker is. It's a large company, and they say that they're the most reputable broker. So I can't imagine what the other ones do. But this one, I understood it was 10% of everything we earned we would give to them, which is fine. 10% is usually the retainage held by the drug company anyway, so I figured once I get the retainage, I'll just pay the broker, and then, that'll be fine. Well, in reality, it's 10% of every patient you enroll, regardless of whether they finish the entire study. So for any given budget, they'll have maybe, let's just use for hypothetical terms, $10,000 for every patient who completes. The drug company will pay the site, right? Well, this broker charges you for every patient you enrolled and assumes that every patient you enrolled completes the study, which, as we all know in clinical trials, is not very common. There's probably about a 30% completion rate, especially for psychiatry. I mean, I know other indications might be higher. So I essentially had 8 enrolled subjects, and maybe 3 of them completed. The other ones all dropped out very early. So I figured I would pay 10% of everything I earned. Well, I was actually charged, to my surprise, 10% of the full amount for every patient. So it assumed that from all my 8 that I enrolled, of which 3 completed, it assumed that all 8 study participants completed. So I had to pay based off of money I never even earned, I never will see. So I go back and say that I do not recommend working with a study broker at all. I know sometimes you have no choice, but I really would not. And if you do, make sure that you pick patients that will finish the study or have a good chance to finish, because you'll be paying for activity that never happened when you use a broker. So hopefully this helps somebody out there. This is Dan from The Clinical Trials Guru, and I wanted to give all of our guru producers a shout out. I'm accepting 95 more producers. If you want to be a producer, go to theclinicaltrialsguru.com, click on register. It costs $99 a year. You get your very own page, and you get mentioned in every video. You also get tweets. I tweet about you all the time. I send people the links to your website, your Facebook page, whatever it may be. Google Plus, Instagram. I do all that stuff. It's Sarah Elizabeth Siegler, Resolve Research Solutions, PTNR, Erdhart Clinical Trials, Accurate Clinical Trials, and Patrick Stone, author of the Bubblegum Badge. Thank you all, and I'm hoping for more of you producers from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.